How do you go about no contact when it is a long-distance relationship? I know.
Well, what that tells me, how do you go about no contact? He's probably just like the emailer from this morning. I don't know if you went through that one yet, but he's looking for reasons to contact her because he's trying to force an interaction. And what's led to him being in no contact in 99% of the cases is chasing after a girl that instead of letting her come to him, he chased her to the point where she lost interest, she lost feelings, she lost respect. Usually the woman backs off more, becomes less available, she texts him less, takes longer to reply, there's less emojis, the text gets shorter. And when the average guy doesn't know any better, senses that and feels it, he calls more, he texts more, trying to force interaction. So no contact means no contact forever. That means unless she reaches out, you're never ever going to speak again as long as you live. The strongest negotiating position is being able to walk away and mean it. And what that tells me is he's not really meaning it. Probably some time's gone by and he's like, wow, she hasn't reached out yet. What do I do? Well, you chased and you pursued to the point where she didn't want anything to do with you or she stuck you in friend zone. So it's not a technique. You have to think of it in terms of like you sat down at the negotiating table. A good thing would be, if you haven't read it already, read Donald Trump's book, The Art of the Deal, from the late 80s, early 90s, because that will really give you a good sense on how a real killer, how a real negotiator negotiates. So if you got up from the negotiating table because maybe she offered you friendship and blue balls, no more sex and romance, then that's it. There's no possibility of a meeting of the minds at that particular point. And so you walk away. If you love and you value yourself, you're trying to find somebody that actually wants to be with you and will make the effort. And when you went no contact, she wasn't willing to make the effort. So it doesn't matter whether you're long distance or she's 15 minutes away from your house. It's irrelevant, usually, because 75% of the time women do the breaking up. So more than likely, she dumped him and probably offered friendship, which a lot of women tend to do, to kind of keep him around as a backup plan to get some attention and validation. But as a man, you're going to move on and go find somebody who's single and ready to mingle. And because if you don't have enough self-control to hang back and let her come to you, if that's even possible at this point, then the next time you get into a relationship with a girl you really like, you're going to chase her right out of your life for the same reasons. I did a video newsletter this morning. Guy was dating this girl for about 7 months. And then they got together and did like a group weekend. She introduced him to some of her friends, and it didn't go well. And he was kind of quiet, kept to himself. He was on his phone, wasn't paying attention. And so her girlfriends obviously said something to her, and she broke up with him shortly after that weekend. And he was in no contact for about 2 months. She reached back out, and where he went wrong was he started pursuing again. He started doing about 30% of the pursuing. She was doing 70. And so they hooked up for a couple of months, and he turned her off because his behavior didn't change. He chased her right back out of his life for the same exact reasons, and now he's in no contact again because he couldn't exercise self-control with her. And so if she's long distance and she dumped you, you don't ever call her or text her again for any reason because she's not willing to participate with you romantically anymore. So there's nothing to do. There's nothing to say. Guys think, well, if I just talk to her or I interact with her, or if I say the right magic word or phrase, she'll come back. And what ends up happening is as you continue to pursue somebody that dumped you and friend zoned you or broke it off, is that you're further cementing in her mind that she made the right decision by getting rid of you. So the strongest negotiating position is being able to walk away and mean it. And you have to mean it. She fucked it up, therefore she's got to fix it. She has to earn another chance with you, not the other way around. And the way this guy is thinking is, how do I get another chance with her? But she doesn't want a chance with you. That's why she's left. That's why you're in no contact. So she does reach out. You assume she wants to see you. You make a date at your place in the evening to make dinner together. Hang out. Yeah. If she comes over 3 dates in a row where she's reached out first, then that shows she's submissive. she's going along with what it is you want, then you can meet her out and pick her up. But you got to let her do all the pursuing, because just like the emailer from this morning, he didn't listen. He didn't follow instructions because he couldn't control himself. And now he's suffering heartbreak all over again for the exact same reason she dumped him the first time. And now he's sitting there wondering, is she going to come back or not? And then in the end of his email, he's basically expecting me to tell him, oh yeah, re-engage with her, go call her. And like they didn't talk for 3 weeks, and then he caved. He's like, oh hey, I got some of your things. So he was looking for a reason to continue reaching out, and so he came up with, oh, I got some of her stuff. Let me call her because I just want to return it.
It's like the stupidest item.
Yeah, probably a lipstick or something.
Yeah.
So he talked to her. He went over to her house, which he's not supposed to do, but he did it anyways. And she basically told him she wasn't interested, wasn't a good idea. And on top of that, she didn't even want to be friends with him anymore. And so now he comes back going, oh, what do I do now? He broke no contact. He got nowhere. And all he does is reconfirm to her that he's a bitch. And you have to be more masculine than the woman is. And unfortunately, most of the time, guys have a real hard time with it. Took me a year and a half to figure that out. And, you know, I learned that stuff 25 years ago. I've been teaching it for 20 years, and I've had it confirmed over and over tens of thousands of times from people all over the world, from every cultural, religious, and spiritual background. Because unless she's willing to reach out and make an effort, nothing's ever going to happen between you. But if you keep pursuing and you keep calling, you keep texting, you keep trying to force interactions, eventually you're going to reach out to her and find out that she's fucking somebody else and wants nothing to do with you. And then you're really going to feel like a schmuck, because usually you'll waste a bunch of time, a bunch of months going nowhere.
That was straightforward.
You got to be, because, you know, the guy's probably going talking to all the girls in his life, maybe his sisters or his mom or women. Oh, just tell her how much you care and how much you love her and how you feel about her. And at the end of the day, women don't give a fuck how you feel about them. They only care about how they feel about you. And if their interest is low and they're not feeling it, it doesn't matter what you say or how good looking you are or how rich you are or handsome you are. She ain't feeling it. It don't fucking matter.
Yeah, because most of the time when guys are like calling all the time, trying to get you back or something, you're just like, oh my God, he's calling again. It's like, what a crybaby.
It's like, get a clue.
You would think that if it's long distance, it would be easier for him to just forget about her, like out of sight, out of mind. But yet he's kind of doing it to himself.
Well, in his mind is, oh, she's long distance. This is a different case. Doesn't apply. I must contact her. He's trying to talk himself into continuing to pursue her, which is exactly why he got himself in no contact in the first place. Because he did it to the point where he badgered her and turned her off to the point where she's repulsed by him. And if you don't just let her go, because, you know, women have to have the time and space away from you to wonder about you, to think about you, to miss you, to maybe second guess you, to go out on a few dates or bad dates with guys that are douchebags. And then she'll start thinking, oh, that Corey guy, I haven't heard from him. It's kind of weird. Usually when I dump a guy, they at least try to reach out. They at least stay in contact for a few months trying to change my mind. And I haven't heard from him. I wonder what he's doing. Did he meet somebody else? Did he really not care about me at all? Is that what it was? He just, when we broke up, he really didn't give a shit, and that's why I haven't heard from him. And she goes to her girlfriends and talks about it, and she starts looking at his social media, trying to find out what he's doing, what he's up to. And then when she can't take it anymore, she reaches out to him. Women are supposed to be the weaker sex, but guys that behave this way basically communicate that the woman's got all the leverage, and they make her the man. And that's not where women want to be. They want to feel safe that you got the balls to walk away and never look back if you've turned them off. And when you can't, when you cave and you go back, all you're doing is reconfirming what a pussy you are. And you're not going to get anywhere except blue balls. And then eventually, when you waste 6 months or a year, you find out that she's fucking Chad Thundercock and is completely over you. And you made it totally easy for her to get over you because you kept chasing. What?
But what about how you always say that women want to be in a love story and women want to be chased and they want to feel desire?
I don't say women want to be chased.
At times they do. They want to be in a love story. So in a love story, they do like want to be chased. They want to be desired. They want to feel like the man that they are in love with is going to fight for them, is going to fight to be with them. So in essence,
Well,
they
that's
do.
that's
Hold
in the
on.
beginning.
Wait.
All right.
No, not just the beginning.
Okay, go ahead.
Like if there's turmoil and triumph in a relationship and that they've gone through hardship and there was issues, a woman wants to feel like their man is going to fight for them even if they put some distance in between the two of them. They want to know that their man is fighting for them, not that their man is sitting there and like saying, "Oh, she'll come back to me."
Like content with the
Yeah,
fact
like,
that they're losing her.
like you agree with me on that. It's not okay for a man to sit back and be like, "She'll come around. I know she will because she misses me." That's total bullshit. If you're an adult, you need to have an adult conversation. You need to be able to express your feelings, and it's just not okay to sit there and be like, "Oh, she's going to come to me. It's fine. She's head over heels with me. I'll just let her do 100% of the pursuing like she's supposed to." That's honestly immature. I don't think that's great advice.
Well, first off, you don't know what you're talking about, and second
I'm
off,
the woman.
excuse me. Second off, he's already done all that. He already tried fighting for. He already tried working things out. He tried to get her to change her mind. She was the one that dumped him, and he didn't want to be dumped. And he usually continues reaching out for a period of time, and then it gets to the point where oftentimes the girl will just ghost him because they're fucking sick of it, and they don't go away. So where guys are at this point, because women tend to do the dumping 75% of the time, is that she already doesn't want anything to do with them. She's already offered friendship, but that's it because her feelings are gone at that point. And if like when a woman says, "I want space," and then you continue to badger her and call, then all that communicates is that you don't have the balls and the self-respect to let her be and to give her that space. Because if you don't, you're going to annoy the shit out of her, and eventually she's going to ghost you.
I've seen
It's
this
a fact
in
of life.
a bunch of movies where it's like long distance relationship and the girl breaks up with the guy and then the guy's like, "Oh no," and then
Yeah, and he flies
He
into
tries
her
to
yes, he
move
city.
flies and
over.
tries to get her back.
Yeah, he does some grand gesture type of ridiculous thing, like the movie Say Anything with John Cusack, where he shows up and he's got the boombox over his head playing a song. And of course, in the movie, it's like, "Oh, it's so cute. Oh, we'll live happily ever after like a Disney movie." You do that in real life, maybe her dad comes out and shoots you, or the police come and they get a restraining order against you. It's like you can't do that. The place where these guys have been is they pursued and drooled all over her and told her how much they cared, to the point where oftentimes she's ignoring them, she's ghosted them. She says, "I don't want anything to do with you." Like the emailer this morning, when he went over there to return her stuff, which is a contact that he initiated, she said, "I don't even want to be friends with you." In other
She
words,
doesn't want her
leave
stuff.
me alone.
If she doesn't want her stuff,
That says, yeah, like I don't want anything to do with you.
that means
She
that
didn't
he's
contact him.
done.
He contacted her and was like, "Hey, I got some of your things. I want to bring them by." And so he drove to her house because, again, he probably talked to a bunch of women in his life, and they're all like, "Go tell her how much you care.
Did she allow him?
Tell her how much you
Right.
feel." He might have just showed up. Who
Oh,
knows?
he didn't say
But at the
anything.
end of the day, it didn't go well because after the first time they broke up, she wanted to remain friends, and he said no thanks. Then eventually she came back. They started hooking up. But this time, because he continued to do the same things that got him dumped, now she doesn't even want to be friends. She says, "That won't work either because all we're going to end up doing is sleeping together." And so now he's going, "Oh shit, what do I do?" She doesn't even want to be friends now because he's looking for more validation that he should continue pursuing her and doing what Erica is suggesting, even though that behavior is what's gotten her to the point where she doesn't want to sleep with him, doesn't want to date him, doesn't want to be around him, and doesn't even want friendship at this point.
Yeah, I didn't read the newsletter. I didn't do the newsletter today, so I'm just giving like a overall.
The contrarian, because that's what you love to do.
I love to give,
Yes.
the devil's
Look at the
advocate.
smile on her face. She loves it. That's
I
terrible
lo-
advice, Corey. Don't do that.
That's not it. I just love to play both sides because, Corey, I think you always need to give the benefit of the doubt to the other.
I think if the girl's throwing hints that like she still has like an opening,
Mhm.
then the guy should pick up on that.
Right.
But if she's immediately like if he offered like, "Hey, I have some stuff of yours if I wasn't interested, I would have been like, keep it, it's fine. I don't
Right.
even know what I left at your
Right.
house.
Oh, you
but
can mail it. You can
yeah.
mail it back.
Forget
mail it,
that.
keep it, give it to your next girlfriend.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
Let the next girl use my
Yeah.
face wash, my hair stuff.
That's her not playing hard to get. That's her telling you
Well,
I'm not interested at
Yeah,
all.
like
Also-
I'm over it.
Yeah, you got to
Completely.
understand that in 99% of these cases, the guys have pursued and badgered and begged and pleaded to the point where she's just disgusted.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to hear from him. And oftentimes it might be a month or two. It was almost 2 months went by in between their breakup to where she caved and reached out to him. And now, because she said, I don't even want to be friends at this point, now he's worried. Oh, I have to do something. That's what I call the illusion of action. Well, you've already done too much to the point where now she says she doesn't even want friendship with you. It's like, you gotta let women be. Because when she started coming back, instead of letting her do all the calling, texting, pursuing, he started reaching out to her. They started spending lots of time talking on the phone. And those last few weeks, he noticed that she wouldn't even see him in person.
So pregnant. Careful how you pick her.
God, is she heavy?
14 pounds.
Oh, God.
My princess.
Oh, my God, you fat little
Give her
girl.
a kiss. Don't call her
We should have
fat.
a gender reveal for all the babies.
Oh my god.
We're gonna film it.
Yes.
If you
Oh my
guys want to,
God.
We need a baby shower. Puppy shower.
I'm down to do like everybody like have a sleepover and like help birth her thing, but like that's gonna be like a process if everybody wants to be involved. We just have to be super calm and thing, and then my mom wants us all to put like little ribbons around their necks because she's like, you guys don't realize they're gonna come out looking like.
The same exact
Ex-
thing.
But I told her, I'm like, she could literally have black babies. She could have
Black babies.
no, because
You mean
poodles,
black fur?
poodles, literally, poodles can have every color baby. It doesn't matter that she's a chocolate merle and he's an apricot blonde with white heart. Like, they could have every single color baby.